troubleshoot. Hear me, sort of raise your hand and wave. Well, part of us are here today and part of us are out in virtual world. Welcome to those that are here and welcome to those that are in virtual world. Nobody's clapping, so I guess so here we are at our breakfast and COVID times. I want to thank everybody for being here and getting up early. It's my earliest meeting of the month. I get more done on second Tuesday of the month than I do the other day. So I want to loud enough. Yeah. Okay. All right. We have members of our President's Circle here. Which part of the President's Circle? All right. Not standing, but at least you showed your card, so you're official. So thank you very much for that. Appreciate your membership at that level. We have a resource table in the back. If you'd like to bring any information for folks that are here, please feel free to bring those, leave those in the back. Grab those up when you leave. We've got a great board of directors. Who all, give me a show of hands if you're on our board of directors. We've got a very active board of directors here. And I want to go to now. Okay. Board of directors, what's going on? Fire.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us in person, and those of you online, just comment to Marcus. I don't know if this camera set up to be on my best side, but we'll do the best we can. First, just wanted to, again, let's see, we're ready to go here. Wanted to make a couple announcements. One, we have the Shop Local, Shop Wheat Ridge bus campaign that is active that WRBA is promoting. And so what we're trying to accomplish with that, having the Shop Local, Shop Wheat Ridge on bus shelters throughout Wheat Ridge, just want to encourage everyone to shop locally. Obviously, the pandemic's put a real bind on many businesses, and so if you have the choice between shopping in one of the neighboring communities, good for them, but we'd rather your dollars and your tails stay at Wheat Ridge and enjoy our local businesses. Also, if you are having a smoking deal that's coming up with the holiday season, go to the WRBA website, update your member profile. That will be the first step. And then if you do have smoking deals, we'd like for you to promote those on the WRBA website so the rest of our members can see those, take advantage of them. And that's smoking deals coming up for the holidays, so I think it's a good time. Next announcement, Kate Cook, who is not here today, but maybe with us virtually, I'm not sure. Kate is a member of Local Works, and she is the newest, oh, there she is. Hi, Kate. She is the newest WRBA board member, and she is filling the vacancy left by Ashley, who is dearly missed, but we're excited to have Kate on board with Local Works, and look forward to working with her in the coming months and years.
Some big shoes to fill.
And then, so I think last but not least, I just wanted to recognize and thank the WRBA board members, including Kate and the other crew members that I think should be popping up on the screen here soon. And a bit of a funky, challenging time over the last couple of months, and so we just appreciate the board members participating, joining the meetings, and trying to direct WRBA through this difficult time. So, without further ado, I think we should turn over to
Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
All right, awesome. Sorry I'm not there in person, but I'm the WRBA membership chair. So we are really excited because despite the fact that we've had to cancel some of our in-person meetings over the course of the summer, we have a lot of new members to welcome. A couple of the new ones recently, we have Nick with Thrive, Sean with Sean Nealon as a realtor, And then we have welcomed 2 new nonprofits to our organization that were sponsored by our President Circle members. So we have Refined, and I believe Lisa is in the audience today. So if she's there, just stand up, wave your hand. And then Angela with the Applewood Community Foundation. And you might be asking, well, why are President Circle members sponsoring these nonprofits? Well, because we weren't able to meet for a handful of months this summer, their meal plan is already included in their membership. And so because of that, they had these benefits they couldn't use. And so we were giving them the option to either roll those meal plan credits over to 2021 or to use those to sponsor a nonprofit. So the Applewood Community Foundation is sponsored by Lee Knoll, and Refined is sponsored by Christine Jensen. So we're excited to have you all here. And again, if anybody knows anybody who's interested in joining the WRBA, feel free to have them reach out to me or make a warm introduction, and I'm happy to go through the benefits of a membership for the Wheat Ridge Business Association. So thank you. And Jaden, I'm going to pass it over to you. I guess I should also say, oh, I don't know where that just went. I guess I should also say that as a President Circle member, those members are given the opportunity to do a 5-minute business spotlight. And so this month, our 5-minute business spotlight will be done by Jaden Weens with the First Bank. So I'm going to pass it over to Jaden.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
You can hear me? Perfect. Sorry as well, I can't be there with you guys. Thank you for the opportunity to let me do this 5-minute business spotlight. Before I get into that quick, I'm going to go over some of the election results on the local level for the state of Colorado. I just want to touch on this briefly. With the WRBA, we are a part of the Jefferson County Business Lobby, and it gives us the opportunity to play a role in the legislative process here in Colorado. So just to go over a few of the things from the election that happened, from a numbers perspective, the Colorado State Legislature will look very much the same in 2021 as it did in 2020. The overriding theme that we're anticipating is the session will deal around the pandemic and challenges to the budget that this will create. So we'll be meeting on a monthly basis as we get into the legislative session, but those will be big things that we'll be looking at from a business perspective. Some of the measures, the ballot measures from the election. So one of the big ones was Amendment B, the Gallagher repeal. So this is the one that creates the ratio of taxes on residential properties versus business properties. The repeal was approved, which means that the residential tax rate will be frozen at 7.15%. The commercial tax rate is still at 29%. The hope with this repeal is that sometime in the future, then this may be able to be brought more in line with the commercial tax rate being brought down. So nothing changes with this repeal, but the thought is that in the future, this will be able to be brought in line. So I think that's a good win for the business community. Whether you own commercial real estate or whether you lease, I think that's a good win for the business community. So that was good to see. A couple of the other ones that passed, just that might have an effect on you guys as business owners. Proposition EE, the nicotine tax, so that was passed, increasing that tax. Proposition 116, income tax cut, so that was passed, reducing the state tax, income tax from 4.63% to 4.55%. Proposition 117, requiring voter approval on enterprise fees, so that was passed as well. And then Proposition 118 is interesting. This one's been out there for a little while in discussions, but the creation of the paid family and medical leave program. So this one did pass. Premiums will begin to be collected in 2023 with benefits available in 2024. So It is out in the future a little bit. There's going to be a lot more discussion about that, but that's obviously one that will affect you guys as business owners in the future. So we'll keep updating on that. We do have a full Jefferson County Business Lobby summary that you can find on the website. So I'd encourage you to go to that and read through that. And then last thing I'd say is as we get into the legislative process at the beginning of next year, we'd love to hear from you guys on any thoughts that you guys have on items that are brought to the state legislature and how they're affecting you guys as business owners. Whether that's being willing to testify in a committee meeting or whether that's just providing insight to us so that we know kind of how these things are affecting your business, that would be very helpful for us as a Jefferson County Business Lobby. So there'll be more updates to come, but if you can visit the website and read through the summary, I think it's very helpful for you guys. Now I'm going to jump into my 5-minute spotlight here. And to be honest, I took a couple minutes for my 5-minute spotlight in that. So I'm going to keep this to just a couple minutes here. But for those who don't know me, I'm Jaden with First Bank. I've been with the bank for 10 years, with most of that time being in the Wheat Ridge, Arvada area. First Bank has been in Wheat Ridge for over 50 years, with our Wheat Ridge location being one of our earliest locations. At First Bank, we take pride that almost all of our growth as a bank has been organic growth. This means instead of growing by acquiring other banks, we've opened our own locations and promoted people from within. This is why we have a branch network that covers not only the Denver Metro, but all along the Front Range and up I-70 into the mountains. At First Bank, we have a number of different personal and business accounts, as well as consumer and commercial loans. We have account packages and online products to help businesses of all sizes. This includes basic online banking for smaller business and treasury management services for larger businesses. Our headquarters building is located in Lakewood, and within that building, we have a 24-hour customer service department that assists our customers at all hours of the day and night. That's not something we send out to someone else. We keep that internal, as we like to control our customer service from within. In terms of the loans, we have all different types of real estate loans as well as business loans. Real estate loans include consumer mortgages for purchase, refinance, or cash out refinance. These loans can be originated to customers in their own name, in trusts, or in LLCs. We do lots of investment property loans for people in LLCs. Home equity loans that can be revolving or an installment fixed rate loan. We do that for people for personal expenses, or we do that in business names and secure it with a primary residence for people to use for business cash flow as well. Commercial real estate loans for property acquisitions. These can be standard bank loans with 25% down payment or paired with an SBA loan. When paired with an SBA loan, you can get into a commercial real estate property with as little as 10% down. And I know rates are crazy low and you hear it on the radio nowadays, but the SBA loans today have a 25-year fixed rate structure at as little as 2.4%, which is really quite remarkable if you're looking to get into a commercial property. In addition to these loans, we have construction loans that can be used to fix up either a personal residence or a commercial property. In addition to these real estate loans, we have business loans that can assist with seasonal cash flow and equipment purchases. Lastly, I realize the world, and banking specifically, is moving more and more every day to digital versus person-to-person interactions. I would encourage you, whether you think you may need bank financing in the near term or further out in the distance, to build a relationship with a banker. These relationships can help you with immediate financing or help you plan to be able to achieve financing in the future. At First Bank, we'd be happy to meet with you and help you achieve your goals. Thank you, everyone, and I enjoy being a part of the organization. I wish I could be there today, but just joining you digitally today.
All right, thanks, Jaden. And as a Wheat Ridge Business Association patron level member, patron level members are given the option to either do a 3-minute spotlight, to have an information table at the breakfast, or to do a story on Facebook. And so it's November, we're kind of at the bottom of the barrel, so I volunteered and said, hey, we're a patron, we haven't gone yet. So I'm going to do the 3-minute spotlight about SCL Health and Lutheran Medical Center. I am the community outreach and partnership manager for Lutheran, and we're just down the street right there on 38th between Wads and Kipling. And we have been in the community for a very long time. So if you're a lifelong Wheat Ridge resident or relatively new, you hopefully know about us. And the message I wanted to share today is we're in the news right now of COVID. COVID numbers are increasing, hospitalizations. You're seeing that on the local news and the newspapers, national news. And it's true, the numbers are going up. Jefferson County just went to a level orange. And, you know, we're trying to do our best to make sure that everybody is staying home, staying healthy, wearing masks, you know, all the things that we keep hearing that are best practices. In the spring, you may remember that the hospitals in the community were going out saying, hey, if you don't need to come here, don't come here. If you're not sick, don't come here. Don't come here for splinters in your finger. Like, we need to make sure that we're saving the PPE for the sickest of the sick and making sure that our hospital care providers in our emergency department and in our intensive care units are really focused on truly those that need the care. And that was really because at the time we didn't know what was going on with COVID, and the personal protective equipment that you hear about was really limited. It was really hard to get in the spring. And so, you know, we come out of the spring, we go into the summer, the numbers start dropping. Our supply chain is starting to become a little bit more robust with PPE. And now we're coming back into the fall where the numbers are increasing. And the message I want to impart today is we're not asking people to delay care. If you're really sick, if you're having heart, chest pain, if you're having signs and symptoms of stroke, if you get into an accident, come to the emergency room. Don't delay your. The care is really important, and the hospital is there to serve you. And our staff is equipped now with PPE to make sure we're taking care of everybody. So. If you ever have a chance to chat with some of the emergency service providers, they can tell you some scary stories about coming on to individuals who waited a week or two after experiencing chest pain to call 911 to come to the hospital. Don't do that. Don't delay your care. If you need it, the hospital is safe. It's actually probably cleaner than the grocery stores that many of us are going to. So if you have questions about the care, about the cleanliness of the hospital, about being able to handle loads of people, if that's what it takes to get people in, please let me know. Your local community hospital, and we're there to serve you and your family. So thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Jake and Lindsay. Great to have you here with us virtually. So we want to go back and all of our members that are here come and introduce themselves. Microphone, tell us just a couple of seconds about what your company does. So everybody's about whether you're done with your breakfast or not. Start lining up here, and we'll do a quick run through. You know, sort of name and your business, and you know, kind of advice like you thought for your business. I'll start off. I'm Bud Starker, and I own West 29th Restaurant Bar on 29th and Tuesday, and you know, great dinners for the community. Margie.
Margie Cypher, retired. I am the speaker coordinator for WRBA. That's us.
All right. White House, Western Duke, Insurance Agency. Great question.
Morning again, everyone. Lowry Burnett, commercial business focuses on finding expert, consultative, personal real estate guidance to the investor anywhere in Colorado and across the United States.
Hello, everyone. Nick Lasap, owner of Services. My company does a variety of different virtual TV tours and room services that lend themselves to different types of businesses, real estate, solar and roofing, and construction.
Josh Puckett. I'm a financial advisor specializing in small businesses and seniors who need to consolidate and simplify their.
Good morning, I'm Gary Longwell, with Maximum Automotive, general automotive repair, including alignments, brakes, tires, all of it, on most things.
Good morning, Miguel Helen, Maggie Auto Body, family owned since 1975. Certification. Warranty on all the work we provide for as long as you will. Good repairs and auto body paint. We call it finishing. Morning, everybody. My name is Dr. Linda McDonald, and my husband and I are both neurological-based chiropractors. And our practice as well, which is often delivered. And what we specialize in is result-oriented complementary approach for kids who struggle with ADD, ADHD, pediatric neurodevelopmental disorders, autism, Tourette's syndrome, tics, OCD, and for adults who struggle with autoimmune disorders as well as cognitive challenges and fertility conception. So really love what we do. It's outside the box from your typical chiropractor.
Good morning. I'm Pete DeWolf with Red Rocks Coffee Company. Okay, I'm Pete DeWolf with Red Rocks Coffee. This time of year, giving for the holidays, it's a slam dunk decision. Give us a call.
We need you, Peter.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for getting up early and joining us. This is Ann with you for SWAT Team. We're hearing that this is we're looking real hard these days to make things happen within the laws. So, give us a coffee. We're here. Something that's fine.
Hi. You're doing good. I'm Brian DeLay, work for Bobby. With any cyber, we do digital marketing, all shapes and sizes, from website design to social media to search. And during these unusual times, to be a dream to get your business out in front of people, give us a call. I'm Brian.
And we work with sexual exploitation. And so we try so that we get awareness that sexual exploitation actually takes place right now, as well as.
Well, thank you all for being with us. We want to make sure that we can integrate our online people, folks that are joining us also. So here's Maki for a self-introduction for herself and for introducing those joining us online.
Okay, hi there. I'm Maki Delight with Aegis Cyber and the president of the Reachers Business Association. Welcome all. And I want to make sure that everybody who's online who cannot talk can also be introduced. So we have Bob Dubois, Cheryl Brungard, Christine Jensen, Jaden Wings, JJ Pooley, Joe Sehuson, Paul Fiden, and TJ Craven. And also from the speaker side, John Bowman, who's our speaker today, and Kate Cook, Lindsay Reinert, Steve Art. Welcome all, and great to have you.
Okay, thank you, Maki, and thanks to everybody for joining us virtually. This brings us, speaking of Officer Bowman, to our RG Cyber, who's going to do our introduction. Marky, come on up.
Gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce to you Tom Bowman, who has been with the Wheat Ridge Police Department since 1999 and has served the community in several roles, including field training officer, firearms instructor, driving instructor, West Metro SWAT Team negotiator, as well as detective against crimes against persons unit, plus others. He is also a member coach and a course director for the Crisis Intervention Program. In his role as crime prevention officer, John works closely with the community with regard to crime prevention and safety. His other talents include being a professional fundraiser auctioneer and a certified commercial drone pilot. John enjoys spending time with his family working on their horse ranch that focuses on equine assisted programs for youth and those who have experienced trauma. Please join me in welcoming Officer John Bowman.
Wow, that even made me sit in awe for just a minute. I remember when I started in this career, they told me how much I would get to do, but Margie, that was a great introduction. I appreciate that very much. So, good morning, Mayor Starker. Good morning, Wheat Ridge Business Association. I hope everybody is well and warm. I know it's a little chillier outside than we thought it was going to be, but give me just a second. I'm trying to get you. Aki, can you get me to my PowerPoint? Sorry, guys. I'm not familiar with Zoom. I'm not familiar with GoToWebinar, but I can't seem to get to it. Okay, can you see that? Can you see that right there, the PowerPoint?
Not yet. Oh, sorry.
Well, we tested this and we had a plan, but we don't have a plan. We don't have anything to deviate from. So let's see if she can get it shared.
Come on.
I promise you, we tested this.
Where?
Well, we can auction stuff in the downtime.
Yes.
Bid them on 75. Where bid them on 75? Anybody want to bid at 75? Oh, Margie bought it. Sorry, guys.
John, are you sharing your screen?
Yes, it says that I am. Yes. I can't even see my own screen. Yeah, it shows me a sharing screen.
There you go.
Now you can see it. Okay, are we good? Are we good to roll?
We can see you, but we can't see your PowerPoint.
What do you want me to click on mine?
Can
Because
you
it shows
share?
that it says that it's shared.
Can you unshare it and then share it again?
If I can get back into GoToWebinar, I can. I can't even get
Okay.
into the toolbar.
Here we go. How about now? There.
Can you see it now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right, now that we worked through that, so what we're going to talk about today is going to be a brief snapshot of a program that we brought to the Wheat Ridge Police Department in 2018. This is a national program. It's called Refuse to Be a Victim. This is a crime prevention program that focuses purely on safety. So I think it's probably one of the best programs that we've offered at the Wheat Ridge Police Department. We're one of the very few agencies in Colorado that offer this program. So you ask what it is. This is a nationally recognized crime prevention program that's designed for people and provides information to help people come up with ideas and strategies for their own personal safety. And it applies to safety in the workplace. It applies to safety when you're at the grocery store, just when you're out and about. So this is an NRA program. This program was developed in 1993 when females, they had a large number of females outreaching to the NRA for personal safety training. It won several awards, and in 1997, the program went co-ed. This is one of their many programs. So it's kind of funny. So when you think NRA, you automatically think firearms, gun rights, that type of thing. Nowhere in this presentation do we mention firearms unless it's brought up by an attendee. So this program has nothing to do with firearms. The in-person event comes with a very nice multi-page color handbook. Nowhere in the book and nowhere in the presentation do we talk about firearms. So some of the crime statistics. 2016, 1.2 million people were, there was 1.2 million violent crimes. A violent crime occurs every 25.2 seconds. Murder, rape, kidnapping, assault, aggravated assault. And keep in mind, these numbers are 4 years old. So the national data hasn't been updated, so that has not been updated yet in this PowerPoint by the NRA. Property crimes, 7.9 million property crimes that year. So think about where we're at in the pandemic and dealing with COVID. Crime rates have gone up, especially in the areas of ID theft, scams, frauds, that type of thing. So you got to remember that while we all have jobs and we go and throughout our daily routine, there's another element that's going to their job. It's not a legal job, but it's people that are trying to figure out ways to scam you out of your money. So I'm sure those numbers are substantially higher. Vehicle thefts, burglary, just generally stuff getting stolen. So there's a very wide spectrum of what's going on. So I want to ask you a question. What does the word criminal mean to you? What are the physical characteristics? What does a criminal look like? Okay, I remember growing up wanting to be a police officer, and everything you saw on TV, there was a stereotype. It was always the guy with the long hair, all the tattoos, or wearing the ski mask. And that may have been somewhat true at one point in time, but I want you to all picture Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy had none of those physical appearances. He was very, very stunning and very controlling, but also very manipulative. So this program is normally a 4-hour in-person presentation. Like I said, we've got about 30 minutes, so we're just going to give a brief snapshot. So this program is designed. Obviously, we can't control anybody's behavior, but what you can do is you can look at your daily routine and the way you do things, and you can make yourself and your property a much harder target and much less attractive to the criminal element. Common characteristics of criminals: they're very selfish, They don't have a lot of conscience. They don't have any mercy. They view niceness as weakness. They try and manipulate the situation to get further in the position to do whatever their malintent is. They obviously want to blend in. They want to appear non-threatening and innocent. They don't want, that they want people to have a sense of comfort versus fear of them. Criminals are constantly seeking a criminal opportunity. A lot of you have heard the term crimes of opportunity. A lot of crimes, a good portion of crimes that happen aren't necessarily targeted situations. It's people looking for the criminal opportunity. And a great example of that is when you have a neighborhood, and this is a nationwide issue. When you have a neighborhood that has a lot of vehicles broken into in one night, what people do is what the criminals do is they walk down the street and they pull on door handles until they find a car door open. There's no resistance. They're trying to act under the cover of darkness, and they'll walk an entire street. So if you have two of them working together and they're walking down a street, how long do you think it's going to take them to pull every car door handle on that street? Not very long at all. Mostly undetected because everybody's asleep. But also, if they're just seen walking down the street, are they doing anything criminal? No, they're not. They're walking on a public street. But are they doing something? Are they in a suspicious spot? They are. So it's all about opportunity. So it starts with mental preparedness. There's different levels. There's your lowest level, which is in the comfort of your home where you can breathe, and that is truly your environment. And then there's a middle level. You start getting into the moderate level. You're in a familiar area, but you're surrounded by strangers, grocery store, movie theater, places like that. It's someplace that you know, but you don't really know anybody there. And then you have a higher level where you're in an unknown area, so you're already uncomfortable, and that area may be associated with crime or have a higher perception of criminal activity. So mental conditioning, the first thing you have to do is develop a plan of what's going to happen. The time to prepare for an emergency is not when that emergency is occurring. It starts long before that. It's well thought out. It's what would I do if this happened, or where are the exits? Where's this? Where's that? What would I do? What would I do? What would I do? And although it's never going to go exactly the way you play it out in your mind, having a plan is going to decrease your reaction time. So I've been in law enforcement almost 25 years. I've spent 25 years with what if, and it drives my wife crazy. We'll go into a restaurant and I have to sit in a certain spot. I have to have my back facing a certain way. When I walk in, I'm automatically looking for exits. I'm looking for where's the fire exit? Can I get out that door? So, and that's something that applies anymore in this day and age just to life in general, not just law enforcement. So there's no one size fits all approach. You have to decide what you're comfortable with. So what I encourage you to do is take a look at your normal day. Review what you do on a daily basis. Think about areas where you might be most vulnerable, or your comfort level might be a little higher than it should be, and you tend to relax a little bit and don't focus as much on some of those things. So some of the outcomes and ramifications, if you get in a bad situation and you react, the consequences of your reactions may result in criminal prosecution, or possibly being prosecuted, or them looking at you to prosecute you, or a civil lawsuit could be filed against you. You have to make the decision. Is the situation you're in, is it worth getting hurt by not reacting, or are you willing to react and in a situation where you may have to hurt somebody else to prevent yourself from being injured? So first thing we're going to talk about is physical security, aim and boundaries. So awareness, you have to assess what your own awareness levels are. How aware are you to what happens around you? And that involves You know, when you're in the grocery store or you're on a walk, get your head up out of your phone or any of that. Make sure you're aware of what's happening around you, because it's going to change second by second. And if you're not paying attention to it, you could have changes that you didn't even know happened. Trust your intuition. And I know that everybody in this head's going to shake everybody in the room is going to shake your head yes when I say this. Have you ever had the situation where something wasn't right, but you really didn't know what wasn't right, but you knew something wasn't? Trust your instincts, okay? Trust your intuition. Mindset. Remember, it all starts with mental preparation. You have to make the decisions on what works best for you. And boundaries, okay? What are your boundaries? Where's your comfort level? Are you willing to, if somebody's too close to you, if you're at the grocery store and you're looking at some items and somebody's in your personal space and you take a step away and that person gets back into your personal space, what are you going to do? Have you thought about where are you going to say, sir, will you please step back, or can I help you? Are you going to make eye contact, or are you going to enforce your boundaries, for lack of a better term? And these are all personal choices, and there's really no right or wrong answer to this, but this is a mental preparation and boundaries test for you. ATMs, stay alert. I don't even know if they have ATM vestibules anymore. I remember as a kid going to the ATM and it looked like we were getting ready to go into a haunted house because it was always like dimly lit. And you'd have one door in and one door out. If you're going to use an ATM, plan ahead. Always try and do it during the normal daytime hours. I never advise anybody to hit an ATM at 1 or 2 in the morning. And remember, you choose the location of the ATM that you go to. Would you feel safer if you went inside the grocery store and used that ATM, or inside the bank and just pulled money? I mean, those are all things that you have to think about if you haven't already thought about. Walking, always walk with oncoming traffic facing you. When you're walking around corners, always try and take wide curves around your corners. Don't walk right along the wall and then make your 90 and go right around the corner. You have a better field of view. It's much broader and more enhanced if you walk wide around the corner. So if we're in person, we would demonstrate, but I challenge you to do that if you're not. So when you're leaving, for those of you that are in the room and those of you that are online, find a corner in your house or find a corner when you're leaving the rec center and walk along the wall real close and make the corner. And then try it again and walk wide around and pay attention to how much wider your field of view is. If you're with people, have people wait for you. There's strength in numbers. Elevators, don't stand back. Don't stand back while you're waiting. Don't stand way back, and don't stand right in front of the door. Right in front of the door. If the door opens and you're not comfortable with who's in that elevator, you do not have to get on that elevator. You don't have to go, well, I guess this is our only shot. Here we go. If you're uncomfortable with it, just say, oh, I'm sorry, I'll wait for the next. Just look, whoever's in there that's making you uncomfortable, I'll wait for the next one. So if you're on an elevator, I always encourage you to stand near the control panel. Because if something starts to make you uncomfortable, if something starts to happen, you then have controls of the elevator. You can, if you're going to the 10th floor and something starts to happen just after you leave the ground floor at 1, you can hit the button and stop it at 2. Don't press the emergency stop button, because that's going to freeze the elevator exactly where it is. Don't press it. You may have to defend yourself or try and de-escalate whatever's happening, just that few extra seconds to get you to the next floor. If you take buses, and now some of the RTE light rail systems we have, if it's dark, wait in well-lit areas. Always watch your property. Always keep it in your possession. Always have your hands on it. Carry only necessary items. Okay, only carry what you need. Okay, you don't have to take look at what you carry in your wallet, in your purse or your handbag or whatever. I challenge you to look in there and ask yourself, do I really need to have all this stuff with me when I go to the grocery store? The mental preparedness piece of have a plan, okay? If you get in a bad situation, dump it and run, okay? You don't need to, you know, so you're in a position where you're not gonna win and somebody's asking for your wallet or your purse, throw it and go, okay? Don't, you have to decide what your comfort level is, okay? Is it worth it to try and defend it, or should I just dump it? Don't be afraid to do that. I'm guessing most of you don't go into laundry rooms, but if you do, or somebody you know does, don't go in alone. Don't go early in the morning. Don't go late at night, and always have a cell phone. Public restrooms, when you go, if you have to use a restroom at the grocery store or Target or wherever, okay, make sure they're well lit. Make sure when you open that door that you pay attention to what's going, that if there's anybody else in there. And once again, if you're uncomfortable with it, you're uncomfortable with it. See if they have another restroom you can use, or wait. If you're uncomfortable with something that's going on in the restroom, let the management know. So physical security, personal alarms, they're very inexpensive. They are very easy to get. You can probably go to any major retailer right now today and buy a personal alarm. The good things about them is they're loud, they're easy to activate, and for you it may be the best legal option. But one of the big cons is it may not draw the attention that you're intending it to. We live in a society where we hear, you know, it's not a big deal to walk through a parking lot and hear a car alarm. You know, we go, oh, somebody's car alarm's going off. We don't know what's making that go off, but we somewhat become numb to it because it's so frequent. So, and that this is, you know, these are choices and decisions that you have to make, and you have to figure out what's comfortable for you. Self-defense physical training is always an option. If you're going to go that route, you need to locate the type of self-defense class that you're interested in. Do some research. Ask, you know, Google's a great tool. Type it into Google, see if you can find reviews. See if the instructors have references that they can give you, so you can get, you know, real feedback on it. So if you're going to participate in a program like that, you have to commit to it. This isn't a go once or twice and be good. This is a perishable skill. This is something you have to commit to. You have to commit to it for yourself, for it to really be beneficial. So commit to it and stay with it. Stay with it. Home security. Everybody always asks this question: how do I keep my home safe? Well, one of the things we offer in Wheat Ridge is we offer through the crime prevention team what we call a CEPTED evaluation, which is crime prevention through environmental design. So it's a national program, and what we do is officers that are certified to do the evaluations will come out to your property, and we'll look at landscaping, lighting, surveillance, that type of thing, and we'll create a written report for you to work off of. When we do these evaluations, we don't necessarily look at what the cost to upgrade the lighting is. We just make the recommendation. So it's not cost-based. We do not take that into account. But we look at the overall. If you look at this home on the screen, you have great visibility at the front door. There's really no trees to hide behind except for that taller one that's by the window. The house is well manicured. The blinds are open. So this isn't a real likely place that a criminal is probably going to want to go for a couple different reasons. Is A, these people show pride in ownership. So I'm willing to bet that if they, and you have to think about the criminal mind is, if the house is manicured and they show pride in ownership, I'm willing to bet that the locks are upgraded. I'm willing to bet that the home has an alarm system. You know, these homeowners that, you know, look like they really take care of what they need to take care of, versus if this house is in complete disarray and the grass is dead and the weeds are overgrown and one of those windows might be broken. There's no pride in ownership, and it's the, well, if they don't care about their property, why should I theory? The broken window theory. So if you have one broken window on a property and you let it go, soon you're going to have 2 broken windows, 4 broken windows, and it's just going to increase. So if you live in Wheat Ridge and you're interested in the crime prevention through environmental design survey for residences or Wheat Ridge businesses, that's something that we offer as well. And you can speak to us further about those. And I think somewhere, I think at the end of this, there's a information slide on how to contact the crime prevention team. So look at your own home and look where you live. Is it safe? Okay, according to national stats, the majority of sexual assaults take place in victims' homes. Okay, US DOJ, if you're home when a criminal gains entry, there's a 1 in 4 chance of becoming a victim of violence. Okay, because they're looking to get in, burglarize your house, do what they're going to do, and get out. They do not want to be confronted, and that's their, they feel like their freedom's in jeopardy because now they have a witness. So look at your locks, look at how secure your home is. Doors, garage doors, front side doors, sliding glass doors, pet doors. If you have a pet door, do you have a way to lock that? Do you have the insert still where you can lock it from the inside? Where is it situated on your house, and how high up does the pet door go? Is it something where a criminal could reach through and unlock the door? Door viewers, people, make sure that you have a 180-degree at the very minimum. 180-degree viewer at a very minimum, so people can't stand off to the side of the door. Different types of locks, and you have to decide what works best for you. Single cylinder deadbolt, double cylinder deadbolt, keyless locks. And I've seen when I do these presentations live, I always ask who has a double cylinder deadbolt, meaning who has a deadbolt lock that requires a key for either side. And I usually get a handful of people that raise their hand, and I ask them, what do you do with the inside? So you lock it from the inside with the key. What do you do with the key? And they say, well, we hang it on a hook. Okay, and that's fine. But I want you to think about, if you have that type of lock, if you have a fire in your home and you're trying to get out, it's going to be chaotic. You're going to be scared, and you happen to get your hand up because you have to have that key to unlock that deadbolt. If you do get your hand on that key and you're trying to get it in there, what happens if you drop the key? So these are all choices, and I'm not saying single bolt versus deadbolt, but look at those options, and those are some of the things you have to think about. If you move into a home or an apartment, always rekey it. Apartment complexes, always ask them to rekey it. Make sure that it has, but especially a new home, even if your seller says, the listing agent says, nope, here's all the keys. This is all the keys to the house. Don't ever assume that that's correct. Always rekey the lock. Key storage. Do you keep a key outside your house? Do you have it in a hide-a-rock or I've seen sprinkler heads that are key holders that look like, they look like a sprinkler head, but they're actually a key holder. So do you have it? Do you keep it in the same location? What does it access? Those are things you have to look at. Limit access to who has your keys to your house, to your cars. 2-piece key rings. So if you're dropping your car off for service or anything like that, you want to be able to disconnect. All you want them to have is a car key. They don't need anything. They don't need anything else. So you want to be able to separate your house keys from your car keys. Don't ever hide a spare key in your car, and don't label car key. I've actually seen people that have spare keys that they're inside the house that'll say extra car key. Because I know I've got all kinds of equipment. I have a whole bowl full of keys. I just have to get lucky and remember which one they are. If not, as I get older, the more I have to sit there and continuously try keys to figure out which one it is. But don't mark them. Kiddos and keys. So my granddaughter, who is 4, she liked keys for quite a bit. The problem was she'd take them and I had no idea where they ended up. So I have 2 sets of keys that I don't even know where they're at to this day. So, but for my grandkids playing, they love keys. Buy them their own set of keys, and then keep yours up and away from them. So you have to look at the type of windows that you have in your house. Do you have double sash, casement? Are they vinyl? Are they aluminum framed? What locking mechanisms do you have on there? So when it comes to windows, examine your home from outside and look at your, walk around the outside of your house and see what it looks like to you, and be honest when you're doing your assessment. Be honest. And that's one thing that we do look at through the SEPTED is if you want a professional opinion, we'll come give you a professional opinion. But window locks, make sure that they work, make sure they're quality, make sure that they work as they're intended to. Lighting, you always want to create the illusion of being home. There's different types of timers, motion sensors, night lights. You want to have 360-degree lighting. You want to have your pathways lighted. Again, this house that's on that screen, you can see pride in ownership. And looking at that home as a criminal, that doesn't necessarily look like one that I want to try and target, because even at night, there's a good chance that I'm going to be observed, and that's not what I want. I want to be able to take care of what my intentions are and get out without being seen. So this is seriously a brief summary of this program. There's about another 3.5 hours of this because I think we're at 30 minutes. So if you have any questions, send them through the, if you have any questions, type it in. If you're virtual, type it into the chat bar. If you're in person, I'll take any questions that you may have. Nothing?
You may have some questions.
Oh, just wondering if that program's available online.
So,
I'm sorry, that one was.
About whether the program you had mentioned is online, how we might find more information on it.
If you go to the city's website, and I can't remember if it's on the slide or not. If you go there, go into the police department and go into the crime prevention programs, and that crime prevention through environmental design program is on there, as well as several others that we offer. So that was a good question.
For Officer Bowman, great program. Officer Bowman, thank you very much. We really appreciate you joining us this morning.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, some good tips there. I hope everyone will take advantage of those and stay safe. Not only wearing a mask and staying distant, but be aware of your surroundings. So we've got some updates coming. Fran, you got something for us on social media? Oh, we know it.
So good morning. So a couple of announcements for social media. For those of you who are updating your Wheat Ridge Business Association, you have your profile. You may have noticed too that you actually upload a video with your profile. So it's a really great opportunity to share more about what your business is, share more about the what services you're looking for, even referrals that you're looking for your business. And so you can create a short run video. And Maki and I are both available to help assist with that. If you're not familiar with it, we can schedule one-on-one to record to via Zoom to be able to do that. Or if you're able to have the technology savvy know-how, we're more than welcome to do it. And then candidates can upload it, or I think you can do it on your own too. So that's really customizable with the Wheat Ridge profile. And then on top of that, if you have not already added yourself to the Facebook members page, we also have a Wheat Ridge Business Association group page exclusive just to our members. This is an opportunity for you to promote yourself weekly, for for you to share any events that you have going on. We are slowly climbing those numbers with our members. So we're about 37 members right now, and maybe more. So we encourage you, if you know of anybody that's that's not in the group, but you are friends with on Facebook, feel free to invite them into the group as well. And I think that is pretty much it. So also for our virtual members that didn't get a chance to introduce themselves this morning, we did, for the couple of people that actually did get to send in their profile, just a little intro, be sure to check out the Wheat Ridge business page, and you'll see that there's a link to their business page, as well as just a little bit tidbit of what they're doing and what's going on this year. So shout out to all those virtual members, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Lynn. Let's see, we've got some Wheat Ridge City updates, a lot of things going on. Steve Art,
Great. Can you hear me?
we can hear you.
Thanks. Great. Well, thanks. I will only hold you for a minute there because I know everyone's got busy days. We have been very, very busy in the city. Things have not slowed down since the pandemic. Wish I could be there in person with all of you this morning. But it's great to see you because you're the only one I can see on the camera. But everyone else, great. Thanks for being in the audience there. A couple of things dealing with the pandemic. The city of Wheat Ridge is getting ready to purchase some more PPE, personal protection equipment. Those would be masks. If there are businesses out there that would like to get masks for their customers, there is a link on the city's website that you can go to. You fill out a request for those, and then once we receive those in, we will distribute those out to the businesses. You do not come to City Hall to pick them up. We will bring them personally to you. So that is available there. We also then extended our executive order, which did go through October 31st, dealing with outdoor restaurants and the availability to put patrons outdoors at restaurants, into parking lots, out on the sidewalks, any way we can. We're trying to work as closely with businesses that we can to assure that they're able to make it through this pandemic and have enough customers options available. During the winter, not really sure exactly how that's going to work during the winter time to see if they can get enough space heaters in there. Wish we had enough PPE funds available that we could purchase heaters for all of our restaurants so they could have outdoor seating, but our PPE money that came from the federal government we've used it all right now, and so we're waiting for another round of stimulus perhaps to come out that we'd be able to assist our businesses with. And then as far as what's going on in the city-wise, again, I said very, very busy. Corner of 38th and Pierce, the old Quality Auto site. That is going to be now a brew pub called Mestizo Cantina. They're under work right now, turning that into the brew pub. Urban Renewal Authority has granted them $20,000 for improvements to that site there, so they're moving along. And just down the street there, we have another brew pub that's going to open, would be at the corner of 38th and around Upham, the old church there. We have gentlemen under contract to purchase that building, turn it into some sort of a brew pub type facility, and then they want to put apartments. They would take off the roof of that building, build a 2-story apartment above there, and have some residential living there. Speaking of residential living, the West End 38th apartments are about 92% filled, which is great, showing that people still need places to live in the Denver metro region. And the Edison apartments, that's within the Wheat Ridge corners, still under construction. They're trying to go for a phased opening. They are asking for the condition of occupancy for that first phase. It's right along 38, along Wadsworth Boulevard there. They want to have that open by year's end, so that'd be great. And the remainder of the product probably will open sometime within the first quarter of 2021. I know the big question on everyone's mind is, what about the Lucky's Market? Still working on a deal with some new tenants for the Lucky's Market, so nothing to report at this time right now. And then last night, the city council approved 2 rezones on second readings. So anytime you go through a rezone, you have to have 2 readings in front of the public. So they had the second reading last night for, one would be the Ward Road Pond. That's at Ward Road and I-70. The most western of the ponds was rezoned to allow for the construction of about 300 apartment complexes and then a little retail pad out on the spit of land between the two ponds. And the second one they did was a rezone for 38th and Johnson Street for the construction of single-family dwelling units on that site. Not sure of the number of those yet. The owners have agreed to lower the density of that product, so we're not sure exactly what that's going to be right now. With that, Bud, if there are any questions about specific areas, I'd be happy to answer those. But again, we're happy to see Steve Weinrich, and please contact me.
Did you say anything about Clear Creek Crossing? Steve, any updates on Clear Creek Crossing?
Clear Creek Crossing's moving on. So you can see the apartments are going up. They're asking for the first condition of occupancy, certificate of occupancy. That'd be for the clubhouse. They hope to have their first tenants move in by the first of the year is what they're saying. I haven't been by there in a couple of weeks, so they must be more done than the last time I drove by there. We actually have an application in for a Hampton Inn Suites, which would be just to the southwest of where the apartments are being built there, so a Hampton Inn. The hospital is under active planning right now for that hospital. Can't tell you when that would begin development up there. You'll probably see medical office buildings first, and then the hospital would follow shortly thereafter, but no plans, specific plans on that. The restaurant area, which would be just directly south of those apartments, that is under review right now and out for comments from all of our service agencies on that. The Come and Go is supposed to open at any time now. And then they're supposed to break ground if they haven't already. Again, I haven't been by there in a couple of weeks. On the Foothills Credit Union, their corporate headquarters will be located just to the north of the Come and Go, which is almost done, as I said there. Speaking of the hospital site, we went to the city council. Was that 2 weeks ago, Bud, at a study session for because yeah. The hospital is zoned for hospital use only, so medical uses only. Now, if the hospital then builds a new site out of Clear Creek Crossing and moves out there, currently right now it can only be used for hospital uses. Well, we would like to see that rezoned because it probably has better and higher uses there. So we are going to go out to the community sometime next year. We'll have an RFP that will go out and put together a whole entire task force committee that will start looking at what sort of uses that plot of land can be. Then it has to go through a whole rezone based upon that. So it's going to be a good year and a half, 2 years before we can able to rezone that piece of property.
Thanks, Steve. Any other questions for Steve? All right, Steve, well, thank you very much. Lots going on in the city. Appreciate all the work you do for us. Okay, let's see. We've got, we're looking for community outreach, community table updates, and things happening in the community. And Kate, with Mobile Works, is going to be helping us.
Let's see. Yes, there. All right.
We are. Hey, Kate.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
We can.
Oh, good. I wasn't sure if I clicked all the right buttons there. I am providing an update on the WRBA's sort of holiday winter fundraiser. It's basically a partnership with Feed the Future and WRBA. Members can donate to this at a link on the WRBA website. And Feed the Future is a partnership between WRBA and Community Tables Feeding the Future Backpack Program. And this program really helps the food insecure families in our community. And it's a backpack program where at the end of the week, students in our schools receive food that helps their families get through the weekend. And it's really important to our food insecure families. The WRBA, through generous donation on their part, will be matching all donations made by the members up to $500. And you can donate all the way through the end of December at that link on the WRBA website, and you can also donate in person at the upcoming holiday luncheon. So it's a terrific program. I encourage everyone to donate.
I think so.
Did you hear me?
I think we say it one more time. We heard that.
So you didn't hear the whole other part?
No, just the last sentence.
Just the last part.
Oh, no. Okay, I'll start over. The Wheat Ridge Business Association is sponsoring a fundraiser. So it's a partnership with Community Tables Feeding the Future Backpack Program. This is a really important program to food insecure families here in Jefferson County, specifically with our Wheat Ridge schools. The WRBA is going to match up to $500 of any donations that are made by our WRBA members. And you can donate at the link on the WRBA website. And you can donate through the end of December. And you can also donate at the upcoming December luncheon, holiday luncheon. So again, this is a super important program. It benefits our food insecure families here in Jefferson County, and it's just a really good way to help out our community. Now, did you hear all of that?
Okay, we got all of that. Yes. Hey,
Oh,
thank
good.
you very much. A great program. Feed the Future back.
Sorry about that.
Okay, thank you for those updates. A couple that I wanted to go through last night. We had two proclamations at City Hall, and one of them was to honor our veterans that support and have defended our country over the years, November 11th. So we want to recognize our veterans. The other one is November 28th, which is a National Shop Local Day. So I hope everybody will focus on that. Not only focus on that day, but every day of the year to shop local and support your local merchants. March, it looks like you got some things to tell us about what's coming up. Come on up.
We have a really funny guy doing our December luncheon keynote. The title of his talk is Embrace Your Awesomeness. So that gives you an idea of that it's going to be light, it's going to be fun. So Brad says that knowing our people is our most valuable asset. Asset isn't enough. We need to fully understand how to empower and inspire them. Brad Montgomery will use humor, stories, music, and other tools to illustrate ways to improve our ability to encourage others. Focusing on the people side of business not only improves the bottom line, it can be enormously satisfying, inspiring, and sometimes very funny. And Brad is very funny. He guarantees that we're going to have a fun time. He also tells us that when our people aren't listening to us, it doesn't matter what we're saying to them. So we all know that people listen to us better when they're laughing. So that will be the focus of his talk. So here is an introductory video that Brad created just for you.
Hold on.
When I knew Brad, when I was a member of the National Speakers Association, he had a lot of hair.
Come on. Oh, shoot.
Wish I were a little louder. If you get the idea, just from his body and the lack of hair, that's gotta make it fun.
It's also posted on the website.
Yeah, and this video is posted on our website. Listen to it. So as you know, our big event is our December 8th luncheon. It is from 11 to 1, and we will be offering both live and virtual. The top is $25, as it always is, not only to members, but to non-members. That's because Suzanne and crew puts out a lavish buffet for us. The virtual edition of this December luncheon will be free for WRBA members and $10 for non-members. This luncheon is a pre-pay in-advance event. So obviously we're going to be opening up the room even more, and there will be social distancing and all that. But there will be a very limited number of seats, in-person seats available. So the RSVP is already set up on our website. So I recommend that all of you that are online and in this room, that you get on there and get your seat reserved for that. Here's an idea for those of you who may want to do a virtual luncheon in your office. So you can do live streaming, and there is a form on our website for you to sign up, and then you serve lunch there. You can watch on one screen or multiple screens, and WRBA will acknowledge your company during the event. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Margie. It looks like we are just about at the conclusion of our program, a little bit early today, but before we leave, we have some door prizes. Now, we wanted to make sure that we included all of our group, not only the group that's here in person, but the group that's joining us virtually. So Maki has made names, put names in the back of old business cards for the members who are joining us virtually. If you have a card here in the room, has everybody got their card in the basket? Oh, we've got a few here. Peter's got some good, he's got good luck, so I know he's often a winner at our circle. Okay. Now, we don't have Mr. Bowman to help us out, so Maki, can you pick up a winner for us? Let's see what we're giving away. Big P. Right now, we're giving away some Red Rocks coffee. And our winner is Lynn Tran.
Thank you.
That was pretty successful. Let's do it again. Red Rocks Coffee Company. And we have Lisa K. Jennings. Lisa, congratulations. You're a winner. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Let's see. We got a little gift certificate from West 29th Restaurant and Bar. And Lowry Glenn. Okay, thank you. And we're going to finish it off this morning with another very generous contribution from Peter, Red Rocks Coffee. White House. I think that's it. All I've got here, unless we're auctioning off the shelves in the podium, we're in good shape. So anyway, thank you all very much for that. That kind of brings us to the close of our meeting. I want to really thank all of you who are joining us. I really want to put out a special thank you to Maki and her crew for providing us with the double-breasted operation here. I want to thank Suzanne and the great crew at Food for Thought for being here. Thanks to all of our members who joined us both here in the room and online. We know these are trying times. We know you're doing the best for our community to keep us safe, keep our economy going. We appreciate this together. We can work through these challenges. So have a great afternoon, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving, however you celebrate it.